So here we are asked to identify and name congruent triangles. There's a lot of instructions here that it says, for each figure below, determine by using the markings if there is a pair of congruent triangles. If there is, name the congruents and give the property justifying the congruence. It says, note that the pair of triangles are drawn as congruent, but you should not rely on how they are drawn in determining your answer. So it's just saying they've used congruent triangles, but we have to prove it based on the markings. So we look at the first one, and what we want to do is we want to compare the markings. So here on this side, on the line segment MN, we have one at the side, and then we have an angle, and then we have another side. So I'm going to go ahead and label what we have. We have a side, we have an angle, we have another side. And it will probably be helpful if we just list out all of the different possibilities that we have here that prove that we have congruent triangles. We know that if we have side, 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 that's one of our situations where we can prove that it's a congruent triangle. We know side, angle, side, and angle, side, angle. And then we know angle, angle, side. Of course, this could be written backwards too if we wanted side, angle, angle, which is the same thing. And then if we had a right triangle, we could also do the hypotenuse leg theorem. So any of these theorems are going to prove that we have congruent triangles. Here we have side, angle, side. Side, angle, side is one of the proofs, or one of the theorems that we could use, as long as this is also side, angle, side. However, we come over here and we see that we have a side, and then we have another side, and then we have an angle. So we have a side, and then we have an angle. Whereas the angle here is sandwiched between the two sides. This is side, side, angle, and we know side, side, angle is one of the two false shortcuts that does not work. Side, side, angle, and angle, 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 these do not work. So this we could not use to prove that they are congruent. So here we would have to mark not necessarily congruent. If we're looking down here at B, we go ahead and start here. We have a side, we have an angle, and then we have a second angle. So here we have side, angle, angle. Or we could rewrite it as angle, angle, side. And then over here we have side, angle, angle. So side, angle, angle, or angle, angle, side. So these two are the same. We notice that it looks like they've just been flipped slightly, but we could rotate this to where if we rotated this 180 degrees, then these would be directly on top of each other. And so this is congruent, and we know that the triangle UVW, so go from 1 to 2 to the third one. So we would also start with 1 and then 2 to the third one. X, Y, and Z is congruent to X, Y, and Z. So we're just trying to match up. If it starts with U and we see that that's the first one there, we want to make sure that we match it up. So we go from the 1 marking to the 2 marking, and then we could have a third marking here that we would add in, since we already know that they're congruent triangles, and we just want to make sure we put them in order, and we choose that they are congruent by side, angle, angle. And then finally we've got 1 side, 2 sides, and 3 sides. 1 side, 2 sides, and 3 sides. This is side, side, side. We see that it's just a reflection, that if we reflected it across this line right here, they're mirror images of each other. It is congruent. Triangle ABC, so we're starting with the second and then going to the third and then the first. So here we would come with the second, then the third, so it would be D, E, F is congruent to D, E, F by side, side, side. Let me make sure that we did that right. So A, B, C, A to B is 2, B to C is 3, so we would go D to E, E to F, D, E, F, and we are done.